Eric Tyler. I'm the hitting coach at Duke University. Played at East Carolina University from 2014 to 2017, and I'm from Landon, North Carolina.
Sean Armstrong, right-handed pitcher for the Tampa Bay Rays. Grew up in New Bern, North Carolina, and played college ball at East Carolina.
My name's Cam Cotter. I'm a right-handed pitcher for the San Francisco Giants organization. I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina. Grew up, played at Northern Guilford, NC State, and then coached as an assistant coach in 2022 at the Cedar Ridge Red Wolves.
My name's Quinn Finnean. I'm 17 years old. I'm a junior, and I'm a right-hand pitcher in outfield.
Landon Delahite. I'm 18, senior. I play the outfield.
Mason Cates, I'm a senior. I'm 18 years old, and I play first base and outfield.
What does baseball mean to you?
Baseball means a lot to me. Baseball is something that has taught me a lot along the way. It's something I became obsessed with from a young age. And it's always kind of been home for me, I guess you could say, as a player, and now as a job every day. It's never felt that way.
Honestly, didn't like baseball growing up. I was a big soccer player, and then middle school didn't have a soccer team. Decided to just go full bore baseball, and just really falling in love with it. Found myself, out in the country, just hitting rocks across the pond, skipping rocks across. Just loved the game.
Yeah.
And just continually evolved, and just fell more deeply in love with the game as my career went on.
I fell in love with baseball at the age of 4. My best friend at the time was like, hey man, you need to come out and play baseball with me, essentially, come play t-ball. And met a group of guys, became instantly friends with them, and just the friendship with those guys is what kind of helped me fall in love with the game.
With baseball, it started a little bit younger. Dad was a huge baseball fan, so I started when I was younger, and I kept playing for a while. I played travel for a while, then I quit, just played school ball, but I still love baseball. Still have a lot of love for it, and want to be good and have a great season this year.
Why not? It's baseball, man. It's a beautiful game. Best game in the world. Played it since I was little.
My dad was a huge baseball fan. Loves the Braves. That was kind of like our team. Been our team for a long time.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of a thing where they put me in t-ball, and I just kept playing.
Yeah. So what's your mindset on going into the season?
I feel like we have something to prove. We've played the big games. We've been in the big games, and there's no reason why we shouldn't come on top this year, and that's our mindset is we got to win.
We're definitely coming into the season with a little chip on our shoulder. We're coming into the season with a mentality that we can win.
Yeah.
We're coming in. We have this motto: is to believe. We're coming in. We're just gonna win.
So what's your personal mindset on the season?
Win. That's all it is. I'm coming in each day. It's a new day. We're 0-0 every game, but nevertheless, I'm gonna work my hardest and just win. Out battle the other team.
Just honestly to win. I mean, we had a good year last year, trying to improve on it this year. Still a young team, but a team that's gotten another year to develop, and we're trying to prove something this year and try to go far in the state play.
Goals for the season's conference championship, state championship is always the goals every year. I've told all the guys it's conference championship or bust this year. That's our goals going into the season. That's what we worked all off season since our last out in the playoffs last year. I've said we're going for a championship, and that's the goal. Coach Massey, head baseball coach, Cedar Ridge High School.
For you, why baseball, and how did you get into coaching and the whole?
Yeah, I mean, baseball has always been my passion. I grew up playing basketball, baseball, football. Had an injury my sophomore year in high school that took away being able to play any more of athletics. Knew I wanted to go into coaching. Had my uncle that I always wanted to follow, and watched him and how he molded young men.
Momentum! Stop standing on the bag.
Get the ball in the air. Watch Quinn when he throws this ball. Okay, I want you to see it. Okay, I don't care you throwing it on one time. I need you to get it up because you're just getting your arm going. Okay, all right, watch.
You hear that me say that a lot. I'm a very competitive person. I want to win. I hate losing, and I want my guys to realize that. But I also want them to realize that it's not the end of the world.
Okay, so we want to get here and turn. Okay, going forward, and then our flip is just a flip forward.
Younger guys who've never played a varsity game or like been in situations that Cedar Ridge baseball has been in, what advice would you give them?
Honestly, just take it step by step, inning by inning. I mean, just relax. I mean, games get intense. They get like a lot of pressure. You just got to slow it down and just play baseball. Just do what you've been doing your whole life.
Take it on your own. Put your hand up. Stop catching like this. Exactly what I said. Our hands are here. Chop it at the base. Oh. Good. Finish it. Stop cheating. Is that a flip or a throw? It's a flip. We're too close.
So there's a lot of older guys who are leaders of the team, but then there's a lot of younger guys who have never been in situations like last year. What advice would you give them?
Yeah, just slow the game down. When you're young and you get thrown into varsity baseball, middle school, high school ball is different. Middle school to JV ball is a lot closer. Middle school to varsity baseball is a total different realm. You have to just be able to control yourself and being able to control the moments. We had 2 freshmen starting last year, had some freshmen get some time. This year we're going to have some more freshmen that are going to have to step up, and I think they're ready. They've put themselves and they've trained themselves all off season. They have a lot of leaders to look up to, a lot of guys that have been in the program from the get-go, from whenever we were, not winning that many games, but they saw the vision and they believed in the vision of what we can do, and they're seeing it kind of come to fruition now, the success that our program's having, and that's where I would say they're going to just have to make sure that they control what they can control, slow the game down, and lean on the guys that have done it.
Yeah, I think you have to lean on the older guys that have been there. And I think we do that in every aspect of our life, is we kind of lean on and look for the advice of somebody that's done what we want to do. And with Cedar Ridge having an older team, I think that's important, is to lean on those guys and be in their back pocket, watch how they go about their business, and go about their business to become better each day, but how they treat the younger guys, and really take note of that, because they will be that older guy one day, and there's going to be somebody that's in their shoes now looking for advice from them.
Nicholas Aiken, Jr. I play shortstop.
That's it? Just shortstop?
Pretty much.
Okay.
You guys are record.
We're 1-2 right now.
How do you feel about the season so far?
I mean, it's pretty good. Like, we've definitely played some tough teams to start the season.
Yeah.
And I think we've definitely been getting better each game, so that's always good.
So you were younger. You were a sophomore on varsity last year.
Yeah.
And now, obviously, still on varsity junior. What's different from last year to this year?
I think just experience. I would say definitely, like, in the bigger moments, it's not as much pressure as it was last year. So probably just a little bit more confidence than last year.
Yeah. So going on in the season, like further in the season, what's the mindset for yourself and for your team?
For myself, just stay within myself, not try to do too much, and just like play to my role on the team. And for the team, just keep playing clean baseball and winning as many games as possible.
What do you feel that your guys' biggest struggle right now?
Right now, I think just consistency, because I think defensively we've been pretty solid the whole year, but just hitting-wise, first 2 games struggled a bit, then we picked up last night. And then pitching-wise, we've had some good outings and some bad outings, so just staying more consistent throughout the year.
We'll just start off, like, how do you feel about tonight? Just talk about tonight a little bit, the guys, improvements.
I think improvement, a little bit. Still working on the offensive side of things, but guys competed, and that's our main goal every time we roll out, compete and find a way to beat another team. I don't care if it's a scrimmage or what. We come out here to play and win, and that's what we did tonight. Challenged our guys a little bit before the game to have a little bit more intensity, a little bit more fire, and I thought they brought it tonight. We're going to continue to work. We got a lot of work to do to be ready for Tuesday when we roll into regular season.
And then, so far, how do you feel the season's gone?
Yeah, it's gone pretty good. I give it an okay. We started out kind of a little rough, but that was by design. I wanted us to play the best competition that we could possibly play in this area to prepare ourselves for whenever we got to conference. And, we lost a lot. We lost our first 2 games that we actually got to play. We got rained out quite a few of some of the games that I thought that we'd be able to get a lot of experience in. Like I told the guys early on in the season, we're a good team. I'm not scared to play anybody, and I think that's kind of why we are where we are right now in the season, is just kind of the guys gaining confidence of, the close games that we played on in the early in the year. We gave away the one at Durham, Jordan. I didn't think we played to the caliber that we are. The score doesn't dictate the type of team that we had. We played Wake Forest, which preseason was one of the top teams on the East Coast in the country. That lineup, I don't think we are going to face anybody throughout the season that has a lineup as deep as theirs. And, we were right there with them, 1-0 ball game in the 5th inning. They made some really good defensive plays, which are expected out of them as what they have talent-wise on the field. But the way we competed in that game kind of springed us into where we wanted to be. Going into Williams' first first conference week, opened up there and played a really good Williams team that was projected and still is one of the top teams in our conference. And we were up early, and then it got tight late, and I think the preparation of the games that we played before that kind of helped us in that. We went on to win the next game, the midweek game, and then we played Williams again and faced the conference pitcher of the year from last year, and it was a 4-4 ball game, and we just ran out of pitching depth. And I think that was another learning stage for us, was some of the younger guys had to realize that they were going to have to step up for us to be where we wanted to be during this season. So we roll into the second week of conference, and Like I told everybody, is our first 4 weeks of conference are against, in my opinion, the top 4 teams in the conference. So we're rolling in to the next week, and we're playing Person, which is, they have 2 guys that we know we're going to be tough on the mound, and we roll into Tuesday, and it's a dog fight, and it's a 4-1 ball game going into the 7th inning, and we're getting no hit. I just kept on telling guys to believe, which is our motto. Just believe that you're going to have a chance to do this. And Quinn comes up, first pitch of the 7th inning, and hits a home run. And I think that just kind of gave our guys some life. And we just kept having great at-bats in that 7th inning. And then Ian McGuffey that came in the 6th and pitched a great ball game and kept us at 4-1 and came up with the bases loaded with 1 out and got a big walk-off hit for us to win to 5-4. We go into the next day, getting back-to-back games at Seaforth, which was a 5-1 team, and 2A, which is another really strong component in the 2A realm, and go down there, and I think we win 13-6 or 12-6. And, our bats were just we were swinging well. And then we roll in on Friday into Person, which is always a tough place to go. In a good environment of baseball against a really good team that's wanting to avenge a loss, and we come out and we go up 10-0 on them early and just kind of keep it there, and I think end up winning 13-5. So right now in the season, I think we're in a good spot. Obviously, I think we gave one away early, but in the realm of things in conference, where we really want to be is giving ourselves a chance going into the 3rd week and focusing on what we have to do that 3rd week to continue to put us at the top of the conference and have a chance for our goal, which is a conference championship. And that's the expectations for our guys, and they truly believe it right now. And I think they're just gaining confidence each week.
What do you feel are some of your guys' strengths?
Yeah, I think definitely our strength right now going into the season was, I thought we had a lot of depth on the mound, and our defense. Early on in the season, I didn't think we swung it well, but I told the guys that, to buy into hitting, and each day we had to find a way to get better at the plate. And I think they're seeing all that work that we put in those 2 weeks of where we didn't get to play many games, and we just really dove in on a lot of their swings. So I'd say early on in the season, it would have been our pitching depth and our defense. I think our defense is still the best defense I've had since I've been here. Our pitching depth's taken a hit just because of some injuries, and some guys have had to step up, and I think those injuries are going to come back, and those guys are going to start coming back after spring break, which is going to be huge for us. But we had to kind of rely on some other guys to step up, losing a couple of our arms early on in the season, just from some tenderness stuff.
So here's what I'll tell y'all: these bullpens we're not working too fast. Take our time, catch our breath. We throw a pitch, right?
Great. 70.5. Same thing, give it a little more. So look, if you want to last more than 2 innings, right, we got to be able to throw loose and relax. So the whole idea of this is not a lot of stress on the arm, and just learn to be able to go from 70 to 71 without ramping up the energy.
So right now at this point in the season, and it's crazy how the season goes, it's like you have your peaks of one thing that you think you're really strong in, but I think our bats right now are carrying us where we want to go, and our starting pitching's doing really well. So our starting pitching and on our bats are going to continue to get better and give us that chance later on in the season.
So right now, spring break, it's kind of like a little break for the team. Going into spring break, what is the main focus of? Is it just recovery? Or?
Yeah, I think right now just getting healthy. That's one thing that I wanted us to focus on. Is we had the sickness going through. We've had quite a few guys have the flu. We've had injuries and just kind of taking it and just getting healthy. You know, we're going to have practice. We're going to have 2 practices over spring break, and we're going to have a doubleheader down in Farmville Central that we're going to play 2 really good teams from down east and just kind of get out of this area and play some people that we don't know, but just continue to get better. We're not close to where we want to be at the end of the year. I think we have a lot of improvements to make. We still have some young guys that are making young mistakes, and but that's one thing that the seniors have said is that we're not going to make that excuse anymore. And I just think that each week we're going to have to continue to get better. And spring break just kind of a recharge and get healthy moment.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, one hand. Hey! Let's go. Let's go. Oh my God.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses,
Hey, you know the drill.
Hey, everybody knows it tonight, boy. And I hope they hear it. Okay? Let it be known tonight. All right? Come on. Believe on 3. 1, 2, 3. Believe! What we wanted, right? This is what you wanted. All right, you want every ball that comes at you. You want every batter you get a face, and you want to get every out you get a chance at. All right, want the ball in every position tonight. You got me? Being 11 on 3. 1, 2, 3. Being 11.
Quinn, he's the youngest right now, and he's been one of the younger ones on the team before. What about him?
Yeah, so Quinn's a little bit different. You know, Quinn came in as a freshman, had a lot of hype, and you know, came here and we relied on him as a freshman, and that was the decision as a coaching staff we wanted to make, is to put him in every situation possible to only better him for later on in his high school career. And you know, freshman year he was really good. Last year he hit some bumps in the road and had a little bit of that sophomore slump, I guess. This year he's been great. He's been focusing on being more of a team guy, and really putting the team first and not worrying so much about him and
how he does. He wants to do everything possible to help the team win. And I think that's one of the key factors of him being a leader on his team is knowing every week I'm going to hand him the baseball and he's going to do whatever it takes for this team to have a chance to win.
I'm Maria Finnean, and I am Quinn, Kate, and Reese's mom, and Quinn is a junior on the baseball team. I'm also the baseball parent, so I help the coaches as much as I can.
Okay. How did Quinn get into baseball?
We have pictures, video of Quinn playing baseball when he was 1.5. We got him a little plastic bat and a plastic ball and would toss it to him, and he, at this early age of 1 year old, he was smacking the ball across the front yard. Both my husband and I are both athletes, and so just like a lot of parents, we introduced him to the things that we knew. So he had soccer ball, baseball, football, all with him in his crib, and he ended up loving baseball the most.
So with that being said, what was Quinn like growing up?
As far as an athlete, or?
Just everything.
Yeah. So Quinn has, what you see now is what he was like when he was a kid, fun-loving, outgoing. He's firstborn, so he likes to connect with people and make sure that everyone's doing okay. He loves sports. He played soccer, basketball, baseball growing up, and he is a great big brother to his sister and his brother, and just loves to be around people, and really thoughtful, reflective, takes his schoolwork and his athletics really seriously.
So Quinn this year is the captain. Has he always been a leader in friend groups, teams?
Yeah, Quinn has been a leader, I think, for most of his life. He was always a tall child. He was the big kid. Since he could stand up and walk, he's always been tall. And when he was little, sometimes that would be hard because there's expectations of kids who are bigger in that maybe they seem like they're older than they are. So I have so many memories when he was little of, he's 4 or 5 years old and he's the biggest kid in his play group, but he's still only 4 or 5. And there's a lot of expectations put on kids who are big and thinking that they know more, or they should be doing more than they are. And I would have to say, he's only 5. But at the same time, being a taller kid and being pretty strong and big has helped him, especially in sports. And I think that people do look to him as a leader, not just for his height and his size, but also for his personality. And again, he's outgoing and he wants people to feel like they're included and they belong, whether it's part of a team or in the organizations that he's involved in high school. I think he's been a leader for most of his life. Quinn's work ethic is above and beyond. There are days where I'm just blown away by his discipline. He realized many years ago that he really wanted to focus on baseball, and he makes sure that every single day he is in the gym. If he's not at practice, he's at the gym. If he's at practice, he goes to the gym afterwards. He has a really rigorous academic schedule because he's in IB, so lots of time management. But since he decided a couple years ago that baseball was going to be his sport, he has created a schedule for himself that is challenging, but he makes it work. He's very dedicated to eating well and making sure that he gets enough sleep. It's amazing. Some days I just cannot believe what he can do in one day.
Why Landon? I tell a lot of people about Landon. The crazy thing for him is I know his number one love is basketball. It's kind of funny how Landon and Mason are very similar because you go watch Landon and Mason on the field of not baseball. I love going to watch Landon play basketball. I love going to watch Mason play football. But it's like watching the same person in 2 different sports because in football, he was the dirtiest guy at the end of the game. Landon was sometimes the sweatiest guy at the end of the game because they just leave everything on the court or the field. And I'm very fortunate that I get to coach both of them. because both of them are bringing that to the baseball field and showing these younger guys of that type of energy and that type of effort that they give every time. And Landon knows, like, hey, Landon knows that he's not the #1 baseball player here. But he also knows that he has to be on that field. That's the guy that has to be on the field. He has to be one of the leaders. And our team goes with him, basically. And I've told both of them, our team's going to follow both of y'all. If you back off, then they're going to back off. You cannot stop. And they never do. Through wins, through losses, you're going to see most of the time the same guys. And they're going to give everything they have. So that's one of the reasons why I think he's such a great leader, and it's going to be such a success on whatever path that he chooses, is because of just his mindset and how he does never give up on anything, and he literally gives his all in whatever he chooses to do.
My name is Beth, and I am Landon's mom.
What was Landon like as a kid?
Landon was a good kid. He was pretty quiet for the most part. He loved his Nintendo DS. He carried it everywhere he went. Loved playing video games. But overall, he was really good. Didn't get into trouble. Did good in school. So.
How did he get into baseball? How did that start?
He started playing baseball when he was about 5, and he started with Hawfields at Hawfields in Mebane. And then he played at Mebane Rec. And then he moved to Hawks team in Hillsboro and played travel baseball with them.
What was his work ethic like?
Landon has a really good work ethic when it's something he's passionate about. So he works hard to get better. You ask him to work on something, he'll do it. He'll get it done.
And then has he always been a leader?
He did not start out as a leader. He was kind of quiet. But I think his leadership started to grow in middle school as he gained confidence in himself. And that just continued to grow through high school.
All right, my name is Mike Jones. I'm the head basketball coach at Cedar Ridge High School, and I've coached Landon for 2 years.
When you first met Landon, what stood out to you about him?
Landon's funny. He seems like he's always been a really good person. He works really hard. He's extremely coachable. He's well liked amongst his teammates. He's well respected amongst his teammates. A lot of times as the coach, when you talk, it becomes kind of redundant, and kids get tired of hearing your voice because they get used to hearing your voice. But when Landon talks, they listen. So he's got the respect of his teammates. Mm-hmm.
So why did you entrust him with leadership and being the role of being a captain?
Landon's heart is always in the right place. Landon is very selfless. Landon's more concerned with winning than his own personal production. He's just as concerned with his teammates being successful as himself. He's always been a great kid, man. I can't talk enough about Landon.
So, what do you see in his work ethic? What about that stands out about him?
Landon works really hard. You don't have to tell him to do something twice. He's self-motivated. I don't have to tell Landon to play hard. I don't have to tell Landon to be confident. All of that stuff naturally comes from him.
He still tries to play now?
Yeah, he hadn't missed a game.
Okay.
And truth be told, since he's hurt his ankle, we've lost a couple of our players. So Landon's had to play more. Never once complains. He never wants to miss a game. He never wants to miss a practice. He never wants to get pulled out because he's injured or nothing like that. He never wants to appear weak. I respect that about him.
So, now I know you don't know him as a baseball player.
What's up?
But from a baseball standpoint,
Okay.
what do you see him accomplishing?
Granted, I've only seen Landon play baseball maybe once or twice in life, but I've heard he's pretty good. So, Landon, whatever Landon puts his mind to, whatever he focuses on, he's going to be able to do it. That's just the type of kid he is. Mm-hmm.
Now, tell me a little bit about Mason, his work ethic, him as a leader, why you chose him to be captain.
Yeah. Mason's been with me for 4 years now. He knows my expectations. He knows what our program's about. And I gave him that role last year. as a leader, one of the captains, because I knew I was going to lean on him heavily this year. One thing that I challenged Mason early on in the season is I wanted him to become the fifth coach. The great teams are player-led, and coaches just kind of are there to make sure that the discipline's happening, making sure everything's being ran right, and obviously right in the lineup and making the calls. But it's player-led, and if the team is close enough and they have guys like Mason that they truly believe is the guy, then if they can let him lead them, it's only going to make that team better. So, the first week of the season, I kind of, after the Durham-Jordan game, I told him before Wake Forest, and I said, hey, you take the team. You have the pregame speech. They don't need to hear it from me anymore.
For 7 innings. Come on, right? Come on, right? Hey, have a lot of energy. Have a lot of energy. Enjoy being out here. It's just another day of baseball. Let's go get another win.
A lot of confidence at the plate.
Let's go get another win. We know we're better than these dudes. Let's go get another.
And I think that's been one great thing for us, is having them listen to a guy that's been here for 4 years, heard everything that he could hear from me, and he takes that lead before the games. His work ethic is the best that I've seen here. As a full-on athlete, you look back at Mason and you see what he's done here at Cedar Ridge, and that's the type of guys that you want on your team. He led the football team. He never gave up. He played for 4 years. He was on varsity. He played every down. He did everything on that field. And you look at it and you watch him play, and he never takes a down off on the football field. And those are the type of guys you want to go to battle with. When we talk about going into fights and battles, you want to pick the guys that you truly believe that are never going to give up. But I can say that he's never going to give up and throw the towel in. This year he's competed harder than last year. Last year he was dominating people, and this year he's had to kind of really compete, and that's been kind of the proud thing for me as a coach with him, is just watching him not give up and see how much he's grown. Because with him, he could throw the towel. In football, he could have said, "Hey, I don't want to play no more. We've been had a bad record the last couple of years." But no, he wanted to continue to play. He wanted to lead that team and show, hey, I'm not that type of guy that's just going to give up on something. And that's kind of the motto that we're trying to grow here, is just continue to push and never give up.
Yeah, so, I mean, we get there, we're warming up and, like, just taking things slowly. I mean, I was on the bump that game, so I hadn't really started anything because I had heard whispers of, like, oh, there's going to be a big thundercloud coming over us. And then eventually they were like, okay, y'all got to get out of here. We have to go on, like, an hour rain delay. So we just sit in the aux gym for an hour, and then we have finally come out, and then it's go time.
Believe on 3, 1, 2, 3, Come on, wow! Yeah!
And we all re-locked in, and we went out there, and for the 6 2/3 innings, we played magnificent baseball. I mean, on the mound, I was probably one of the most focused I've ever been, and in the field and hitting, everyone was on point.
Yeah, that game I felt like I was the most focused I'd ever been before a baseball game, and you know I had a pretty solid game, and you know it sucks the way that it turned out, but I mean like I told them like that's baseball.
We came out good. I mean, by the 4th, 3rd inning, we were up 2-0, and then Grant had a double to put us up 4-0.
You know, that's the atmosphere that you want to have in a playoff. I told the guys that I think that's the closest that you're going to get in a state championship atmosphere, which is, you know, what you want in high school sports is that atmosphere. Now, would we have rather have played them maybe a couple rounds later in the playoffs? Absolutely, but I think our guys played probably their best game of the year, first 6 2/3 innings, and you know, we made some mistakes there at the end, and they ended up being costly. But you know, you go back and you spend some time thinking about what could have been, what could have happened, and you second guess a lot of things after things like that. But you know, we had some chances early on that we didn't cash in that could have extended the lead to a little bit more, and you know, that's why like baseball's so tough, because you got to play 21 outs. Like in high school ball, you got to play 21 outs. It's not 20 outs, it's 21, and that's, like I told the guys, it's a lot like life. You can't cheat yourself, and it was tough to swallow the pill of blowing that lead, but you know, make it be a learning lesson.
It's just always what happens there. We go into the 7th inning, and then it's just like it's not meant to be. I mean, it was just one of those things. I mean, then we got to that 7th inning, and we got to 2 outs in that 7th inning. I mean, we come out of the inning. They had just gotten a pretty good overturned call in the bottom of the 6th, top of the 7th to turn over to bottom 7. Come in there, I got 2 quick outs on some ground balls, so you know, everyone's a little bit amped up. This is potentially the first time that we're going to beat Orange in about 3 or 4 years.
No, cannot get complacent, cannot get quiet. You have to stay in it.
Especially in a playoff game, and get to forget who the batter was, but I get him on 2 strikes and get a ground ball to the right side and just make an error on the play. No big deal. Runner on first, and then get another guy into a good count. Rolls over to shortstop, make a play, and just another error there. About this time, my pitch count's slowly starting to get up there. I'm like 85, getting close to 90 pitches. So I still had some ways to go, but then just deep count with Cross Clayton, and he takes a 3-2 fastball to left center field, and they score 1 run. And then by that time, I was at 95 pitches, and it was deemed necessary that I had to get pulled. So then I was sent to left field, and we were right there. And got another ground ball, made another error on it. Just a lot of mental lapses in play, and just standing in left field felt very hopeless. Yeah.
So with the last play being the hit over, was it to you?
It was to right field and farther.
So you hit it over the fence. What was your immediate reaction?
I mean, my immediate reaction, I was just, I laughed for a second. I was like, there's no way this happened, because this had similarly happened to me my freshman year. State playoffs against Orange, something happens at second base, and they go on to win. And then immediately I just looked over at Landon, and I just fell on my knees and started crying. I was like, there's no way this can happen.
And that's tough to kind of realize, make it be a learning lesson. But I do think that moving forward, I think we are going to be better from it. And I think that the group that was left behind from these seniors are going to really take that into the off-season preparation and realizing, hey, like that's not what's going to happen next year, and we have to, really work hard this off season.
I mean, we got the 2 first outs, and I was like, all right, we're gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had an error, and then we had a couple walks, and and it just got ugly from there. I mean, they had some timely hits, and then they hit a 3-run bomb to win the game.
Mm-hmm. Now, after the game, you guys had your team talk, emotions were high, and then Massey pulled you and Mason aside.
Yeah.
Just give me a rundown on what he told you and what stuck with you.
He told me and Mason that we've been a big part of Cedar Ridge athletics for all 4 years we've been here, and he's enjoyed coaching me and Mason, and he apologized because he wanted it so badly for us more than anything. And I mean, I've stuck with him this long. He's a great coach. He got me back into baseball because, I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but I wasn't going to play freshman year. I thought I'd give it a try, and Massey came in with open arms, and he was a great coach for me for 4 years, and I've enjoyed every second of it.
It's like I didn't do what I wanted to this season as far as like personally and my goals that I said that we wanted to do from the start, but like I said, I wouldn't get emotional.
You're good.
But having those young bucks come up to me after that game and tell me that they looked up to me was that was all I needed, knowing how good that season went. That a whip.
Go ahead, Quinn. Pose. Wallets. Game time. Game time. Slow. He's slow. I can't. I gotta wait till he goes. He's not gonna hit anybody. Oh.
Right. What are you doing?
I need content for the movie.
Woo!
Like Brandon Church. You gotta protect me, Quinn.
Huh?
You gotta protect me.
I will always protect you, baby. The bubble gum.
I know. Lock in, Kev. Lock in, Kev. Hold on. Yeah. All right, bet.
Let's go. Let's get a job.
I'll ask the question.
Okay. Wait. How are you gonna have to?
I was like.
Watch out, dude.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Personality. Should we go somewhere else?